Hey, this is Chris Johnson. Welcome back to another Obless, we'll say brainstorming. We have something a little different tonight. And welcome to all the YouTube channels and all the YouTube fans out there and all the wonderful people that are on the panel and in the attendees. I know you all are true angels. I see the same faces over and over. That tells me a lot of good things about people that they're really sticking around to see this thing through. And after we launch, your wings will be flapping all over the world, I believe, helping people out. And it's a great thing. So tonight we have a very special guest. It's a little different. But I think Michael, Engineer Mike, I like calling him, is going to turn it into an Obless project. There's a young man he's going to introduce. He speaks French. We do have a couple of ladies on here that actually speak French. It'll help us to interpret. And I'm going to give the floor to Engineer Mike and let him take over and introduce this young man. I hope you're all very impressed about this young man, especially how smart he is, and just something different to ease your mind of many, many things and see what actually people can do when they stick to their minds to it. Engineer Mike, will you please unmute yourself? And the show is all yours, brother.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Opacivians. Good day to everybody, our leaders across the globe. Yes, today is a little bit different. Like Chris said, we came across a talent in the country of Togo, in Africa, West Africa. So to talk about, he is called Rahouf Malazoe Suru. He's a 22 years old orphan. The mom and the dad are no more. He works as a repairer, an electrician. He fixes televisions, cell phones, and laptops. But he has this invention that he has invented. And as we're going, we will know who he is. Now, I just want to share my screen and show you people a little bit about what we're talking about. So this is the map of Africa. Okay. Now, Togo is found somewhere here. This is Togo. To the north of Togo, we have Burkina Faso. We also have Niger Republic. In the west of Togo, we have another country called Ghana. And in the east, we have another country called Benin Republic. So the capital of Togo is called Lomé. Togo has a population of about 8,280,000 people. Now that my own country is Cameroon right here. This is where I came from. It's in the central of Africa. But this little boy, Rahouf Malazoe, is from Togo. Now let's see his invention. Then we'll come back to ask some questions to him. And we'll see, 1 second. 1 second, let me stop sharing. Then I'll go back again and I share my whole lobby. I want us to go through his invention, then we can ask him some questions. That is him in his workshop. He's working. So he's in his workshop, he's manufacturing something. Now turn out. So if we can see, he's an inventor. He's trying to invent his own things. Also, the most beautiful thing is that he did not do sciences. All he did was arts. He's an art student that has this inspiration to do scientific things. Inspired scientific things, and he's very good at it.
Boom.
Those are parts. They're trying to fabricate parts using all kind of metals that they can lay hands on, and pipes and all of that. So it seems as if they are almost done with the fabrication. They're trying to do the painting now. So I think what they're doing. So he's trying to do the electricity components now. He's actually doing the electricity and trying to take the 6 to the car. He wants to start now the decoration phase. He wants to decorate it. If you see, he's writing Raptor. I don't know which is, whether he wants to say Toronto Raptors or just Raptor. He will tell us all the time. So that is his trademark. He calls it RAF X. So RAF and the letter X. So we want to know all of that in the interview. We'll talk to him. He will let us know what all of this stands for. And again, we should all know he's a founder. So he's an Obasi founder, proud founder. Now he wants to do the electricity part, electrification of the car, creating panels for every connection, wherever they are. Remember, I told you people that he is good in electronics. It's what he does. He fixes computers, laptops, televisions, and cell phones. That's all he's doing. He's a technician that does that. So he pretty much understands all the electrical components of the car as well.
Charge la batterie.
While he's doing that, they are testing it to see. I think they were trying to play music and it was not coming out completely.
Lumière peut s'allumer.
And it's as if the car is here.
Câble.
Plays music now.
Regardez-moi le salaud là.
And he has something like a screen in it. Like any other product. As if he works morning, afternoon, in the night. And we can see it's as if most of the parts he designs them all by himself.
Yeah.
Okay, guy is ready. Drives it now. Checking his engine. That's it. That's good. Okay. So that is it.
Wow.
Wow.
Michael, is he self-taught on all this stuff, electrician, welding, or did he go to school for this?
Not at all. He did arts. He's an arts student.
Okay.
In Africa, we have science, arts, and technical people, but he did the art series. So it's like he was born with this. He's just his own, how do they say, he's a born engineer by birth.
He's a superstar, Michael. He's a superstar.
Thank you.
Very talented, very talented.
So how do you say his first name, Michael? Was it Rakouf?
Rahouf.
Raouf.
Yeah, Rahouf.
Well, what else has he designed or built like that? Because to watch him he was tearing apart laptops, cell phones, and doing his electrical, which is very hard to do. And
Yes.
some of the stuff he was fabbing is what I used to do at my job years ago in the body shop. So I know what that takes. And his artistic design on the whole thing and everything he did was pretty darn nice.
Yes. So we want to talk about now, we'll be asking him some questions and he will clarify us about a lot of things. I have a lot of leaders here. I have Naka from Canada. I have Nadu from the United States, and I have Pa Laurence as well. We'll do it as a group. Then if other founders have other questions, we'll ask him. So what I want to start to say is that I was introduced to him by Nadu. Nadu left the country while he was just 6 months old. So he's now a big boy. So Nadu say, hey, Engineer Mike, look at this guy. What do you think? So I talked with, I just say, okay, you know me, Chris. I said, no, he needs to be a founder. I got him an account. Then other people got him an account in the group. So he's a founder. So what we need, we're bringing this to Old Bless because this is not the end. We are coming here with Chris Johnson's directives, with Mr. Aj Mufareh's directive. We can create a big project that can employ more people and change people's lives. That's why we're coming. He started it small. We can do it big so that we can employ more people and they can work there. All the mechanical engineers that we have in the world, which come wherever they come from, they can come there and work. Now, again, I was talking with Mr. Aj some months ago about some roads in Africa. And he told me, oh no, we need to upgrade this thing. We need to use some better means of transportation, not only roads. So as I was talking with Chris today, I just said, let's coin it. It will be a different name now. We'll say African Smart Roads by Obless. So African Smart Roads by Obless. So that will be a different dimension. And we will brainstorm on it. I have already leaders who are working with leaders to bring this to the light. We're doing a lot of feasibility studies. So to start with this project with Rahouf, I will leave it over to my big brother, Pa Laurence. He will start the questions. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so very much. I'm extending my greetings to everybody in the panel. Good to see you again, Chris. Hey, 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 hey. So I have some questions. Of course, Mr. Rahouf Malazoué, I saw the project and then I got very, very interested. I did not even think twice. I just created an account for him right away. Though I knew he's already on passive, I created an account for him because as an engineer, I see a lot of potential in this guy. He's really, really skilled. But I do have some question for him. So I may ask the question in English. Hopefully somebody, maybe Nadu or somebody can give him the interpretation in French so that we can learn more about the project. So my first question to him is this: how much does the fabrication of this car cost to him? If somebody can
All right, thank
yeah.
you. I will translate this question. Raph, we can call him Raph. Raph, si tu nous écoutes, c'est un ingénieur qui a été vraiment intéressé par ton invention et il demande le coût de la fabrication de cette voiture. Si tu peux lui donner ça.
Ok, d'accord, merci. Bon, d'abord, bonsoir tout le monde. Et je suis très fier d'être parmi vous ce soir. Et pour la fabrication de ce Raptor, ça m'a coûté dans les 3 800 000.
Okay, he greets everybody, and then he say he's proud to be here with us. And the cost, like you say, is about $8,000. Is around $8,000.
Okay, good. Thank you so much, Nadu. I'm going to ask another question. So my background is engineering. Though I'm a pilot, I also have a lot of interest in everything that is related to mechanical engineering. So my question to him is that, let's say for us pilots, some of our engines are Rolls-Royce. So I would like to know what type of engine did he use, and what's the strength of the engine that he has?
Naka, tu peux venir au secours? Okay, I will continue.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh,
Next,
tu es
next
là,
one.
il faut prendre la relève. Allons-y.
No. Go ahead, I will do the
Prendre la
next one.
relève, Naka, c'est à vous. Merci.
Je ne suivais pas vraiment, donc
Oh, okay. So
tu peux aller la suivante.
let me ask a question again, if just maybe to make it
Okay,
clear.
go ahead.
Yeah. So I come from an engineering background, and I'm very interested with the project. So for us pilots, for example, some of the engine that we find in some of the airplane are from Rolls-Royce. So I would like to know what type of engine is this gentleman using, and what's the strength of the engine that he's using?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for having us here. And hey, Chris. Hello. Okay, thank you, Engineer Mike, for organizing this. So the question is, le monsieur demande, le pilote demande qu'il a travaillé en tant qu'ingénieur, il a travaillé dans la mécanique. Maintenant, il aimerait savoir quel type de moteur tu as utilisé dans ta voiture. Si tu peux répondre.
Ah oui, le moteur que j'ai utilisé, c'est une CBR 1000. Donc, elle développe plus de 135 chevaux.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay. So Rauf is saying that he used in his car the engine called CBR combien?
1000.
1000.
Okay. CBR 1000.
Yes, CBR 1000.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. CBR 1000.
Okay.
Et la
Okay.
puissance, Raouf, quelle est la puissance? La
Oui,
puissance.
c'est la puissance, c'est 1000. C'est la puissance, ça donne. Elle développe plus de 135 chevaux.
1235 chevaux.
Non, 135.
135 chevaux.
Chevaux, ouais.
Okay. So he says that is it. And it also produces 135 horsepower.
Horsepower.
Michael, is that like a motorcycle engine? Is that from a motorcycle?
C'est comme pour la moto.
Oui, oui.
Yeah.
Yes, he said yes, Chris.
Yeah, CBR 1000. That's a really good motor. Hey, I got a real quick question. Ask him real quick. Transmission. I know he knows that word. What kind of transmission did he use?
Quelle est la
Transmission.
transmission utilisée dans la voiture?
Là, j'ai dû développer beaucoup d'idées pour transformer le système de chaîne en système de transmission, quoi.
The way he's explaining is like he used his own, original transmission. So you can find it anywhere. And yeah, that's what he uses.
That's very impressive, tell him. That's very impressive. That's the hardest part is the transmission.
Yeah.
So very, very impressive. All right, Michael, back to you guys.
So next question to you. Next question. My next question is this. So what type of special features do you have in that car? In other words, what makes your car unique?
Raph, la question est posée sur les éléments spéciaux utilisés pour fabriquer cette voiture. Qu'est-ce qui fait que ta voiture est unique au monde? Est-ce que tu peux...
Oui. D'abord, le métal que j'ai utilisé pour former le châssis, elle est inoxydable et très résistante. Donc, c'est du côté de la châssis, ça. Et de l'autre côté, les vitesses, elle a 6 vitesses. Ça se passe, il y a 6 vitesses à l'avant, 6 vitesses à l'arrière aussi, en marche arrière. Donc, vous me comprenez?
Okay. Okay. He uses a very heavy metal that cannot be faded easily. And then he got like 12 speeds, 6 in the front and 6 in the back.
Good. So
6 forward gears and 6 reverse gears.
Yes.
Good. Okay, good. So I'm very interested.
Thank you.
I'm very interested with the type of suspension that you use. So what type of suspension did you use, and where are those parts coming from? Are they coming from locally, or did you have to buy anything? What type of suspension did you use, and where did you get those parts from?
Oh, OK.
Naka.
Ben, l'ingénieur dit qu'il est très, très impressionné par, comment on appelle ça, les suspensions, voilà, utilisées dans la voiture. Donc, il aimerait savoir, que tu expliques comment tu l'as fabriqué et voilà.
Oui, les suspensions, je les ai moi-même rassemblées. Donc, j'ai beaucoup récupéré dans les casses puisqu'il n'y avait pas assez de moyens pour commander ça en neuf. Donc, les amortisseurs, ça vient d'ailleurs. Les ressorts, ça vient d'ailleurs. Il y a des trucs que j'ai soudés. J'ai détruit quelques amortisseurs aussi pour retirer juste quelques parties pour le montage aussi. Donc, c'est complètement une fabrication.
Wow.
Wow.
He's explaining that everything comes from recycling. So he got most of it from recycling used cars, and he created himself some of them. So it's really his own creation. Nothing is like come from a shop or something.
Okay, very good. So as an engineer, I know whenever you have a project like that or something an invention like that, most likely you may have some limitation. So if you were given an opportunity to, let's say, to add something on what you already created, which area do you think you could bring those changes? Or in other words, where did you have limitation, and how much help will you need if you have an opportunity to move forward with what you already created?
OK. Pour cette question, en tant qu'ingénieur, il a souvent aussi des problèmes à avancer. Et il sait que tu en as eu aussi. Et si tu as une opportunité pour améliorer ce que tu as aujourd'hui, qu'est-ce que tu aurais fait? Et qu'est-ce que tu demandes comme aide pour pouvoir évoluer dans ce que tu es en train de faire?
Et d'accord. Si j'ai eu une opportunité, d'abord en premier lieu, c'est de me faire former à l'étranger pour avoir un diplôme supérieur et acquérir un peu de connaissances pour être un peu à jour, quoi. Et après ça, je suis capable de me relancer dans des engins, que ce soit mécanique, hybride ou bien que ce soit solaire. Ça ne me dérange pas puisque je suis dans l'électronique. Ce n'est pas un domaine qui peut me déranger. Et je peux me relancer dedans, concevoir des petits tracteurs pour que la population puisse payer facilement. Pas uniquement des tracteurs, mais tout ce qui est engin mécanique pour que la population puisse profiter.
Okay. First thing he wanted to do, he got the potential to do better than what he got today, but he will need to be trained professionally, go back to school and learn, because he's doing everything from scratch just for the way he's feeling. So he wants to do that, be professional. And then he can work in mechanics thing. He can even use the solar system and anything that can help his population, because he's not thinking only about him. He wants to serve his community. Are you satisfied with the answer?
I am more than satisfied. I'm really, really happy. And then I can give my shoulder so that this guy can stand on my shoulder and move forward. I really feel good.
L'ingénieur dit qu'il est satisfait de la réponse et qu'il peut donner sa tête à couper pour toi.
D'accord, merci beaucoup.
But I'm all done with my question. Thanks so very much, Engineer Mike.
Okay, thank you.
Wow.
Wow.
Mind blowing. I mean, we thought, so just coming, there's another thing when I had a discussion with him and I had his plan, I had what he's planning to do to his community. Then I said, this is an unpassive spirit. This is all blessed. This is all blessed. I mean, you're not thinking about only yourself. You're thinking about your community. That is all blessed right there. So now we have continuation of 5 more other questions. I want Dr. Benny to go with the first 2, then I'll do the last 3. Thank you.
All right. Raph.
Ouais.
Bonsoir. Comment ça va?
Je vais bien.
All right. Don't worry, I'm going to speak in English. Do you dream of expansion in the future? Naka.
Demande si tu rêves d'étendre ton entreprise dans l'avenir. Quelles sont les perspectives d'avenir sur ton projet?
Oui, pour expandre ça c'est nécessaire puisque je suis technicien de façon générale, donc je fais presque tout pour faire valoir mon talent. Ce n'est pas un truc qui peut me déranger puisque ça fait partie de mes rêves, quoi. Donc, avoir des engins que ce n'est pas uniquement le Togo, voire l'Afrique et si possible le monde entier peuvent s'en servir. Donc, ce sont mes rêves même.
Yeah, he's saying that it's his dream to really, expand. And if his car can be used everywhere in the world, that will be great. And he knows that he has the skill to perform. He did everything by himself. He's embracing all the sectors there. So he can do it, and he will be expanding all over the world to help people.
Wow.
Yes.
This is really amazing. Looking at a young boy, I respect you, my son. Let me, one more question, please. Will you think of substituting the source of energy like solar power in the future?
Ok, Raph, la dame dit qu'elle te respecte beaucoup. Maintenant, la question, c'est de savoir, est-ce que tu auras voulu changer ou bien substituer l'énergie utilisée par le solaire ou autre chose? Est-ce que tu as pensé à ça? Utiliser l'énergie solaire.
D'accord. Utiliser l'énergie solaire, ça, c'est pas un domaine, c'est loin, c'est très loin de m'embêter puisque je suis dans l'électronique. La composition de toutes ces énergies, ça ne me dérange pas du tout. Même actuellement, je suis en train de mettre au point un autre buggy, mais de 3 pneus. Ça autre, il y a le solaire aussi dedans. Donc, comme c'est personnel, ou bien si les solaires vont être commandés, ça va être un peu personnel, ça ne doit pas aller dans le public puisque si on veut vendre des engins et gagner d'argent, on ne doit pas vendre des trucs que les gens vont partir avec sans revenir. Donc, le solaire, c'est bon, mais ça ne doit pas dominer dans les engins, quoi. Puisque si c'est hybride, le solaire peut l'accompagner un peu, mais la charge doit être payée. Peut-être on peut mettre des stations de charge et peut-être par jour, à chaque 24 heures, la personne va y payer la charge. Ce sont des petits revenus qui vont beaucoup aider l'entreprise en quelque sorte, quoi. Donc, ça ne doit pas être un engin conçu et puis vendu et la personne va partir comme ça sans revenir. Ça ne va pas beaucoup nous rapporter quand même. C'est ce que je vois. C'est possible. C'est pas que ce n'est pas impossible, mais on doit avoir le côté d'affaires aussi, quoi.
Okay. Dr. Benny, he's saying that this is not something that is impossible. It's doable, but we need to check everything. When somebody bought your car with energy, a solar energy, the person has to be able to find a station to get that energy maybe in 24 hours. So there's a lot of work to do to put something like that to the public. First thing, it can be custom made. When somebody has that power and order him, he can provide a person. But to the public, there's so many things that will happen that he doesn't want someone to buy his car and stay halfway without coming back home. So if there is a station everywhere that people can be provided by the solar energy, he's ready to do that.
Wow.
I think he's saying that because in our country, we don't have a station to charge solar cars. So that's why he's saying that. So I think it won't be a problem in here.
Did you let Elon Musk know that? Taka, you need to email Elon Musk about that problem. I'll bet you Elon Musk will get some power over there for you.
Okay, yeah, sure.
I'm not kidding you. Michael, use your engineering ability and get that email to Elon. I guarantee he'd love to be all over that.
That's true, Chris. We'll work as a team to put it out there. Thank you.
Thank
you very much, everybody. I mean, we have so many hands already up, but we have 2 more questions to go for him to explain some things to us. Then we can hand over back to Captain Chris, let him coordinate the other people to ask questions.
Hey,
Please,
Michael.
Yes,
can
sir.
I say something about the electric car?
Go ahead.
Never mind Elon Musk. We live at 40 below zero. So can you imagine in a snowstorm where all the traffic is stalled with electric cars? How many people do you think are going to die? Electric cars don't work in the cold.
Okay. Thank you, Richard. Thanks for your input. So I will go now to Auntie Mary Pendy to ask 2 questions to him, then I will close it up. Thank you very much. Auntie Mary Pendy, if you are there, unmute yourself, please. Thank you.
Hi, Raul. You are a very impressive, talented young man. You have impressed us very well today. We are so proud of what you have done with the little resource that you have. So I want to talk to you about your production, the car that we just saw. When you were producing this car, what was the most difficult part from the beginning to the end, from the time you picked up the parts and started putting them together to the point where it was driving? What was the most difficult part during your production? Nadu, can you please interpret this for him?
Okay. La dame vient de te féliciter et très impressionnée par ton talent et tout ce que tu es en train de faire. Mais elle veut savoir la partie la plus difficile au cours de la fabrication de cette voiture. Est-ce que tu peux lui parler de ça? Ce qui a été très difficile pour toi de faire au cours de la fabrication.
D'accord. À vrai dire, je n'ai pas eu trop de difficultés puisque je suis déterminé à arriver jusqu'au bout. Tout ce que je commence, c'est qu'il faut être sûr que je dois le terminer. Donc, j'ai des idées qui me viennent très rapidement pour la résolution des problèmes, quel que soit là où je suis coincé, les idées me viennent très rapidement. Donc, ça ne m'a pas causé de problème. Ce que je peux dire, c'est que comme il n'y a pas d'argent en bloc pour tout payer en même temps, donc ça fait que je peux payer quelques pièces aujourd'hui, mon argent fini, après 2 semaines, je gagne l'argent, je repaye encore. Mais peut-être la deuxième semaine, quand je vais pour payer une autre pièce, je peux retrouver une pièce performée de la semaine passée, c'est-à-dire déjà payée, quoi. Je vais trouver sa nouvelle version. Donc, je suis obligé de prendre la nouvelle version puisque je ne suis pas très fier, je ne serai pas fier de fabriquer quelque chose avec une pièce dont je sais que ce n'est pas efficace ou bien quelque chose. Donc, il y a eu des pièces que j'ai payées, je n'ai pas pu utiliser ça. Donc, c'est quelques trucs comme ça. Sinon, tous les problèmes que j'ai eu à raconter, j'ai tout relevé. C'est-à-dire, ça n'a pas été un blocage pour moi. Je trouve très rapidement d'idées pour trouver une solution au plus possible. Donc, c'est comme ça.
Okay. Sister Marie, he was saying that he is a very upfront. Like when he puts his mind to do something, he will find the way to do it. So he cannot say that he got like trouble or difficulties doing what he wanted to do. The main problem will be financial because he worked. When he found something, he saved some money. Maybe after 2 weeks or 1 week, when he has something handy, he goes to shop. And during the new shopping, he can change his mind because he will find another tool that he didn't find before, and he will use it and keep growing and keep changing his idea until he's satisfied about what he wanted to do. It's not like you have something and you want to make a copy. He goes with his passion. Whatever the road is taking him, he will find something and change it and progress. So the financial issue is the most for him.
Rahul,
But remember, he's an orphan, and then he's now working because he's not professional. Nobody can give him something like, you are engineer, let's do this. So he is doing the crafts fixing phones and laptop, whatever, to survive. This is what he's doing.
You have really impressed all of us with your provision and improvision. You run into obstacles, you figure out how to navigate it and get over the hump to the next stop, until you get to the finish. That is what we call persistent and perseverance. And when you persist and persevere, you're always a winner. So money is always the issue of everything in our lives, but you figure out in your own little way to navigate and get to the finished product. So I was just thinking about what you think about the products that you produce. What do you think about the market? You go through all this hump, you get over the hump, you go to the next step, you face challenges, you come up with solutions and get to the next. And that shows how persistent you are to the point where you produce. What do you think? Do you think you have a customer? You have like customers that buys your product? What do you think about the product that you do, the market for this product? You are one talented young man. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Naka.
Okay. Marie est tellement impressionnée par excusez-moi, sorry, my
I think Nadu, you can proceed so that we don't.
Ok, je vais prendre la relève pour t'expliquer ce que Madame Marie vient de demander. Elle t'a beaucoup félicité. Elle t'a beaucoup félicité. Elle est très impressionnée par ce que tu as fait, surtout ta persévérance et ta persistance. Malgré que tu n'aies pas l'argent, ça ne t'a pas bloqué. Tu as remué sol et ciel pour pouvoir atteindre ton objectif. Maintenant, après toute cette labeur, qu'attends-tu du marché? Est-ce que tu as le potentiel pour élargir et puis vendre ce produit que tu as tant souffert pour avoir? Est-ce que tu as un marché pour la voiture que tu viens de créer?
Oui, et celle que j'ai créée, il y a eu beaucoup qui ont voulu que je leur vende ça. Il y a aussi des commandes, il y a aussi beaucoup de commandes que je n'ai pas. Même jusqu'à aujourd'hui, il y a les commandes qui viennent toujours. Mais ceux qui veulent commander, ils veulent ça avec des pièces neuves, puisque ce sont des gens un peu aisés quand même. Donc, ils veulent tout avec des pièces neuves, pas recyclées. Donc, mais j'aime pas pu obéir à leurs commandes puisque j'aime pas de garage pour la conception de ce genre de buggy. Donc, c'est ce qui a fait que je n'ai pas pu répondre à leurs appels. Donc, si je reçois l'argent, c'est comme je me lance dans le tout risque. Donc, il faut que j'aie un garage, une bonne mise en place. Et avec ça, tous les modèles que les gens vont demander, ça va couler dans le marché plein. C'est quelque chose comme ça.
Okay, Sister Marie, he's like, even when he came out with that car, people wanted to buy it, but it's not for sale. And then some wealthy are want to order some cars, but he cannot do it. As we can see from the video, he doesn't have a shop. He works from the floor. So he cannot do it. And they don't want him to bring something from the recycle to build their car. They want new stuff, and he cannot provide that. He cannot provide it. All those things are stopping him to develop his talents. Yeah, so he's open to anything.
Young man, you are a gifted and talented young man. You have impressed us all here. You are in the right place with your gift and talent that will go so far. With this platform that you are in now called Obless, you are blessed to be here because you have been blessed. Thank you. Thank you so much for your time.
Madame Marie te remercie beaucoup pour le temps que tu as effectué ici avec nous et elle te dit que tu es à la meilleure place, là où tu auras trouvé une solution à tout ce que tu demandes. Mais elle est en train de te qualifier. Tu as des dons, tu as des talents que personne ne peut te retirer. Donc, ce sont ces mots. Est-ce que tu as quelque chose à lui dire?
Ah non, je lui remercie beaucoup aussi pour son attention et merci à toute l'équipe aussi pour cette opportunité. Je vous remercie.
He is saying thank you for everything and for this opportunity. He is thanking everybody here, all on Pacifian, and he's happy to be here.
Merci, Monsieur le Directeur.
Thank you, everybody. I mean, the boy is awesome. Oh, Chris, if you go to the chart, you see the name of the project. I say African Smart Roads by OnPassive Obless. Write it down. I know you always write things.
I already wrote it down 2 times, Mike. I actually,
Thank you.
I'm gonna love telling Ash you've been replaced by a new name, and he probably will love that.
Yeah.
I think he's actually gonna get a real big kick out of it because African Smart Roads by OnPassive Obless, that's pretty smart thinking there. But Michael, you go ahead.
Yes, sir. Okay.
You're doing
Now,
a fine
we
job.
come
You
to
go
the-
ahead.
Thank you, big bro. So I'm coming to the last question from us, from the team. Then you will take over after this. Or if you want me to conduct, I'll conduct. It's okay. It's all left to you. So my last question that I want to ask Rahul is, I'll ask it in English, then I'll ask it in French. I'm bilingual. You people should remember too. So don't forget that. I'm trilingual because I speak Spanish as well. So Rahul, for the benefit of everybody here, what are your inspirations now that you are a member and an OnPassidian with all what you're doing? Donc, je vais te demander ça en français encore. Quelles sont vos inspirations en tant que membre fondateur de OnPassive? Dis-nous. Quelles sont vos inspirations?
D'abord, je tiens à vous remercier, monsieur l'ingénieur Michael, pour m'avoir offert cette opportunité et à m'inscrire aussi en m'ouvrant des comptes. Donc, ça me fait beaucoup plaisir et je vois que OnPassive, c'est une bonne opportunité. Et déjà, je suis un homme un peu influent de mon pays. Je ferai la publicité de vous pour que beaucoup de gens se rejoignent OnPassive, puisque c'est une très bonne chose, c'est une bonne opportunité. Merci.
So if I can translate, he says he wants to thank us, all of us, first of all, for me to fishing him out, to make him a founder, or proud founder of OnPassive today, that he's thanking everybody as well, the team, for bringing him here and offering him this golden opportunity of OnPassive, that he's going back home. He is going to tell everybody to join OnPassive because this is the place to be. You don't need any other business rather than OnPassive. Rahul, thank you very much. So I want to continue with the people who have their hands up now. Chris, if you permit me, I have Dr. Masiegio. I think so, that's she, right? Doc, if you're ready, come with your question, please. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Engineer Mike and Chris Johnson. Really, this platform is it's actually opening our brains even more. So I would really like to congratulate this young man. We may say the same thing over and over again, but this is moving, basically. To see you work in a low-resourced place like that and being able to create things that are almost equal to what other big people with good resources are able to do. One thing that I really appreciate about the session today is that it's challenging us as on Pacifians to think about talents like this that are hidden, to actually go out and look for such kind of talents and support them. So thank you for bringing this to this platform. So I have a question for him to say, how old were you when you started this, really, and what motivated you? And then to say, I saw as you were fixing or making this car, yeah, you were using your bare hands, you know. So what are the risks as you fix this car? Yeah, those are just my questions to him. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Doc. So the women, are you there to translate?
Okay. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for your question. Il a commencé par te féliciter vraiment pour ce que tu fais. Tout le monde va répéter la même chose, mais ils veulent quand même répéter ça parce que tu as fait quelque chose de vraiment super. Il dit que c'est un mouvement que tu as commencé. Et à Obless, cette organisation ici est en train de faire ressortir les talents cachés. Et tu es l'un d'eux. Sa question, c'est à quel âge as-tu commencé à faire ce truc? Et puis, qu'est-ce qui t'a motivé? Au cours de la vidéo, il a remarqué que tu utilises les mains sans protection. Donc, il demande les risques que tu cours en travaillant comme ça.
Ok, merci pour la question. Tout d'abord, ce que je peux dire, j'ai commencé ça depuis tout petit. Déjà en classe de CP2, je parcourais des kilomètres pour aller en brousse chercher du bambou, c'est-à-dire de quoi fabriquer les petites voitures ou bien les trucs comme ça. Donc, c'est depuis l'enfance et ça n'a pas arrêté. Donc, ce qui se passait en enfance, si je vois un véhicule passer, juste le voir passer seulement. Et ce qui est arrivé à la maison, je suis capable de le reproduire. Juste le voir seulement, je capte l'image. Donc, arrivé à la maison, je reproduis quelque chose quelconque. Donc, c'est ce qui a fait, c'est ce qui m'a, c'est-à-dire c'est un don, quoi. C'est depuis l'enfance, j'ai commencé à le développer. Donc, je grandissais, je fabriquais les choses, je réparais aussi les téléphones en grandissant. Et après la perte de mes parents, c'est-à-dire si vous avez quelque chose en vous, c'est pas parce que vous avez perdu vos parents que vous allez le laisser. S'il y a ça en vous, ça doit continuer. Donc, j'ai toujours continué et j'ai beaucoup appris sur les YouTube, chez les chefs garagistes. Donc, c'est-à-dire je suis autodidacte, quoi. Donc, c'est pas que je suis allé m'installer pour recevoir une formation, non. C'est une fois que j'ai des soucis, je vais chez les professionnels, je me renseigne, je dis, je suis en train d'ouvrir le moteur, arriver aux côtés du vilebrequin, j'ai ces soucis, donc comment le réparer? Et s'ils n'ont pas de solution, je vais sur YouTube. Des fois, c'est pas tout, il y a sur YouTube. Donc, ce que je trouve toujours une solution pour résoudre ça. Donc, c'est comme ça. Et les choses que j'ai découpées aussi sans gants, et des fois, quand il y a le gant, ça empêche aussi, puisque ici, on n'a pas de gants trop appropriés pour ce genre de travaux. Soit c'est en coton, soit c'est en cuir. Or que le cuir est très dur. Mais le coton aussi, c'est très faible. Ça ne résiste pas aux brûlures de ces feux. Donc, on fait comme ça. Ça nous brûle, mais on résiste à ça quand même.
Ok, merci. Je vais essayer de reprendre ça. He's saying that he started this very early, like second grade.
Ooh.
Whatever he's seeing, the car passing, he is motivated, and then he's tried to reproduce that with the cans. Like you leave your Coke can, he will take it. That's the way he started, and he grows doing that. Even the death of his parents didn't stop him because he got something in him that he wanted to develop. The second thing he's doing is like questioning people who are doing the job he wanted to be in, and he doesn't have the financial aid to do it. Or he turned to YouTube to see, but he cannot find everything there. So he got to put his mind to develop something. And it's true that he's working without gloves. The problem is that the gloves are not effective. Like some are like in leather, too hard to work with. Some are in cotton and too easy to be cut. So he prefer going bare hand and do whatever he wanted to do. That's his answer. Are you satisfied with the answer that he gave you, or?
I'm very satisfied, very impressive.
Thank
From
you.
grade 2. I mean, people like you, we wonder if you even need school, because you are a school yourself. You are a moving university yourself. So the world has to learn from you, actually. So while you open your eyes to want to learn more, to develop your talent, to develop your industry, which we imagine one day will be huge and big and known in the world, just know that you are a school yourself. Thank you.
La réponse, c'est que tu n'as pas besoin d'aller à l'école. Toi-même, tu as une école, tu as une université. Donc, tu n'as pas besoin d'aller à l'école pour faire ce que tu vas faire dans la vie.
Yeah, my last
merci.
words would be just to say, you know, oh, bless is an equalizer. It's just an equalizer. I just imagine industries like this mushrooming in low resource places like Africa and all over the world, and just the world becoming equal. So thank you, oh, bless. Thank you, On Passive. And thank you, Rauf. Impressive.
Michael, let me jump in there. Thank you, Dr. Msagio. You know, I wish I could speak French, because I'd like to tell this young man, you wouldn't be who you are today if the parts were laying right next to you in perfect order. What you did is you used your brain, your imagination, and you fabricated a car that people wanted to own. I can imagine you, we call individuals over here in America backyard mechanics, who are your neighbors who love to work on motors or cars, and they fix them right in their backyard, in their garages, for a lot less cheaper than a mechanic at a shop would. So you have no idea what you're doing, how important it is to society, because in today's world, a lot of people can't afford to take their vehicles to the shop because they charge so much money to fix things. You know, if we all had a brain like you, we would just pull in our garage and we'd find some metal and some wires and we'd make it work. That's how talented you are. I could probably bring you to the United States and I could show you hot rods, and I can imagine what you can do with hot rods and rebuilding old cars. It'd be pretty amazing. See, that's how I think. But how you're thinking is the bigger picture. Hey, I needed to do something. Look at that scrap over there. I can make a car out of that. And you did that. All right. All you need is a garage and some funding. And you probably got another little Mr. Ford there. You just don't know it, because that's how he started out. He started using his imagination and thinking, I want to build an automobile. I want to build a gasoline engine. I'm tempted to ask you, and you don't have to repeat all this to him, Mike. You can do it at a later time. Michael, did he actually rebuild that motor, or did he find the motor intact? Did he actually rebuild the motor? Do you know?
Yeah.
That's That's amazing
Can
because
he build everything that he's using?
you did this all where usually it's one, you know, you got an engine builder, you have a body man, you have someone that does the electronics. You did this all. You're a man of many, you're not a kid. All right, you may have that kid looking face, but you're a full-grown man with a brain that some of us wish we could even think of having. So I commend you, and I see big things happening for you, not just for what you're going to build and what you're going to design, because I think cars is just the start. I think you're going to go a lot farther, not with a lot more than just automobiles. All right. You're going to have a following. You're going to be like a teacher. People are going to want to know what your skill is. And it's going to be hard for you to teach those kids that because it's a brain thing. You learned it all on scratch. So I'm excited for you to be part of this. And I know Obless and you are going to get along really good because you're not thinking about yourself. If you thought about yourself, you would have sold those cars a long time ago to the highest bidder. But no, you don't want to do that. And I understand why, and I'm glad you didn't. Don't you ever sell that car. You keep that as a reminder to every young boy and girl in your country and our country. Say, look what I did at a young age, and look what you can do if you put your mind to it. All right, Michael, I'm giving it back to you, brother.
Thank you
Okay,
very
I
much.
will
Big
try
Bro
to
Chris.
translate him.
Yeah, I wanted to call both of you. Go.
Okay. Chris Johnson qui vient de parler, c'est lui le responsable de l'œuvre humanitaire appelée Obless. Il dit que tu as utilisé ton cerveau et ton imagination pour avoir ce que tu as. Et il y a de ces genres de personnes ici aux États-Unis. Quand tu n'as pas l'argent pour aller au garage, tu vas les voir dans les coins de rue, derrière leur maison, pour t'arranger les choses, mais ils ne font pas le travail que tu es en train de faire. Il aurait aimé t'amener aux États-Unis et t'envoyer à la place où on dépose tous les déchets et tu vas faire de belles choses à partir de là. Donc, tu n'as pas de garage. Tu as fait beaucoup de choses. Si tu en as, il imagine ce que tu vas faire. Et il pense à Ford. Tu sais qui est Ford?
Oui,
il y a
je le
une
connais.
marque Ford ici. C'est un monsieur qui a commencé juste comme toi et aujourd'hui, on a partout. La première voiture américaine, c'est Ford.
Ouais.
Ford. Quand tu passes, tu vois ça. Donc, il voit ton avenir comme ça. Donc, et tu es jeune, mais il te considère, il te respecte comme un homme, un adulte. C'est ce qu'il est en train de dire. Que la voiture qu'il a vue, ce n'est qu'un début de ta carrière. Il te voit même comme un enseignant. Il te voit comme quelqu'un qui fera une marque dans notre constitution Obless, qui est une œuvre humanitaire. Donc, tu peux même aider d'autres qui veulent apprendre. Donc, ce qu'il a beaucoup aimé avec toi, c'est que tu penses aux autres. Tu ne veux pas quelque chose pour toi seul. Et il te dit de ne jamais vendre ce premier modèle que tu as. Tu vas garder ça comme souvenir et montrer quand tu seras vieux aux gens que quand j'étais jeune, c'était ma première voiture, c'était ma première œuvre. Merci.
D'accord, merci beaucoup. Là, ça me fait beaucoup plaisir, puisque Ford dont vous parlez, je suis très impressionné par Ford et BMW. Déjà, j'aime beaucoup, vous voyez, Ford a des pick-up au nom de Raptor aussi, les grosses 4x4 pick-up là. Et les Mustangs, tout ça, ce sont des voitures que j'aime beaucoup, j'apprécie beaucoup aussi, quoi. Donc, si c'est possible de me faire former chez Ford ou bien dans un bon centre là-bas en mécanique, puisque aux États-Unis, il y a des formations plus performées, c'est-à-dire qu'ils sont bien dans la mécanique, quoi. Donc, ce serait une très grande opportunité pour moi de me faire former là-bas avec plaisir aussi. Merci.
Okay, Chris, he's happy to have this conversation with you, and he knows about Ford, about BMW, and the pickup truck that we are making here in the US, and the Mustang. He loves all those, and he wishes that he can have a training in those places so he can come out with better stuff. He can do more if he can have a training. That's it, what he's asking.
Nadu, you tell that young man, he's the one that's going to be training these guys, because everything over here is done by, you know, engineering, presses, machinery. He did this in his brain. All right. He's the trainer. I'm sure if I brought him into Ford Motor Company in the engineering department, he would probably improve the Mustang, which I worked on for over 30 years. And I would love to see that. You tell him to stick with his mind, because he's going to do better than Mustang, BMW, General Motors, Chrysler. He's going to be better than all of them because he knows how to do everything, and he does it with his mind and his hands. Over here, we do everything with machines. So you tell him he's the trainer. He's the number one trainer.
Chris te dit que tu es le formateur numéro 1. Tu n'as pas besoin des gens qui vont te former ici. Et en plus, tout ce que tu auras, ça sera mieux que les Mustang, les Chrysler et autres. Parce que lui-même, il a travaillé plus de 30 ans dans le domaine avec Ford. Donc, il comprend tout ce que tu es en train de faire. Donc, tu es formateur, tu n'as pas besoin d'être formé. Parce que tu utilises ton cerveau pour faire tout ce que tu es en train de faire. Tu comprends. Tu n'utilises pas des machines pour répliquer. Ouais. Donc, nous, ici, nous utilisons des machines et on fait les trucs à la chaîne. Toi, tu utilises le cerveau. Donc, tu es formateur. Et c'est ce qu'il est en train de te dire.
D'accord, merci beaucoup, merci beaucoup.
Raoul connaît aussi que quand tu as le moyen, c'est le moyen qui peut avoir toutes les choses, n'est-ce pas? Il faut seulement, dès que tu es là, il faut prendre un petit cahier, tu écris tout ce que tu veux, OK? Les machines que tu veux, les machines de fabrication, laquelle, la qualité, la classe, et quoi faire avec tous ces machines-là. Il faut écrire tout ça. Dès qu'on lance ici, ta vie ne serait pas la même. Donc, on parle de ça, c'est la vérité, on ne blague pas. Donc, prends seulement un petit cahier, tu écris tout ce que tu veux, les machines que tu veux. Dès que le temps arrive, on veut acheter tout ça et tu vas, ne t'en fais même pas, ça c'est déjà fait. Donc, on dit merci à Dieu. What I'm telling him is that, like Chris told him, he doesn't need to go to any formal school to go to those companies because he has worked more than 30 years in Ford, and all the Mustang that they had was the same Mustang that they have today. They're just trying to, every time they change the lights and things like that, that's it. But he has his own structure of everything in his mind and his brain. So what I've told him is that he should get a pen and a paper to be writing all what he needs. What he needs is tools, equipment to do his job. So he doesn't need to go and learn to do somebody's own job because he knows already what to do. So to encourage him, I'm telling him that once we go to the public, he is in Oblast, he's an Ompasidian, that's a done deal. Like our CEO used to say, it's a done deal. So let's just keep on encouraging him for where he is so that he doesn't lose college. Now I have Musharraf Hussein. Please, can you unmute yourself and ask a question? Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you very much. And first of all, I'll say, Raouf, you are really mind-blowing. Your project, whatever you make in your future project, if you dream some bigger, so I think you are really you are a creator, because you know it's just a beginning for you. So I hope in future you have to do bigger creator. You make some uh, different. I think you have to make a project like that, because these are the new concept you in your mind. You have to start up for this. But one of that questions, I'm just asking you, that's a simple as it uh, in this car you make. So what are the best it's what are the best thing you just in your mind? So once I'll complete this card, so what you imagine means uh, it's like you are sharing your someone, or like you are uh, gifted this project to anyone. What is your concept in your mind? It's like any your dream, you think like that, whatever that. Share Michael, please.
Okay. Thank you for your question. Raph, il est en train de te féliciter que tu fais de la création. Ce n'est pas une copie. Tout ce que tu fais, ce que tu viens de montrer, ce n'est pas une copie quelque part. Mais il est en train de te demander d'où tu trouves le concept de ce que tu fais. C'est un peu plus philosophique.
Oui, c'est-à-dire la manière de concevoir, ou bien, sinon, beaucoup, vous voyez déjà le dessin de la Raptor là, et l'autre modèle qui est en cours aussi, ça me vient par idée. Ça dit, ça me vient quoi, ça me vient dans les idées. Et puis, une fois que ça me vient dans les idées, je dessine ça. Et c'est ça que je reproduis. Donc, vous allez voir que sur le marché, vous n'allez pas avoir un exemplaire. C'est unique, quoi. Donc, c'est comme ça. C'est-à-dire, je suis rapidement inspiré par les modèles ou bien tout ce qui passe. Je peux voir juste un train et puis, c'est-à-dire, ça m'inspire. Je vois d'autres choses à la place et puis, j'essaie de reproduire ce qui me vient en tête, quoi. Donc, c'est comme ça. Donc, c'est comme ça, ça marche.
Okay, for your question, he's saying that once he's inspired, he likes to draw to see if his vision can be put on paper. And from there, he starts realizing, even if he saw a train passing, he will envision, how can I replicate this train? And then how can I do it better? This is the way he always run his business. I don't know if you are satisfied with the answer he gave you.
Yeah, definitely. Because it's his mind concept, and I just say something for that everyone, that because I'm doing a social worker in India, because I'm not running any NGOs and not like that, but till last 4 years I'm doing a very hard work, because me and my wife last 15 years they are connected social work like NGOs, and we all that family we are doing like this. There's an uplift to that as a humanity, like child that's a child education and whatever that person, those who are not able to work like a right platform, so we are giving like that. Okay, so we are all the sector we are looking from the India, like hunger people, education is the first my whole family is a teacher. We are teaching a free of cost with the higher education we are providing for as myself and my wife, brothers everywhere. So, and the second thing, we are like connected like 20,000 people to our this type of those who are not able to, or it's like problem or this type of situation. There's a financial, they are not strong, no job, this type. So I hope I just send some 3 or 4 minute videos.
Mushraf.
I think that's yeah, please.
Mushraf, please, we just want you to round up because we have most of our leaders here. We've not heard from Chris himself. We've not heard from Marty Digamo. We've not heard from Robin. So please, if you just round up,
definitely, Michael.
so these other people talk, we'll appreciate that. We're almost getting to the end. Thank you.
Definitely, Michael. Thank you very much for that.
Can we go to the next question?
Auntie Helen Tala, please, can you unmute yourself and ask your question? Thank you. Okay, Bruce, can you take over? She's not there. Maybe when she comes, we'll run
Well,
back.
certainly I can, Mr. Engineer Mike.
Yes, sir.
I want to first of all thank you very much for your brilliant mind. You made me.
Thank you for the opportunity to talk here. Rauf.
Okay, Bruce, 1 second, please. Let her finish her own. You will come back, Bruce.
What you've done.
I got your back. Thank you. Auntie Helen, we are listening to you. Please go.
I'm right here. So, but why am I not there?
We are seeing you. We're waiting for you to talk.
Okay. That's very impressive. Oh, okay. It takes time to come there. Yeah, it's very impressive what you've done, Rauf. That's a wonderful job. Not to take, I'm talking, it's just that it comes late. Hello? Can you hear me now?
We can hear you very well.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, let me not waste a lot of time because many people have to talk. I have only one question for him. How long did this project take him to build a car like what he had? How long did it take him?
Okay. I know the answer for that one. I'll talk to him about it. So the question is, how long did Rauf take to complete his car? He started in April of 2021 and he finished in December. And that was due to the fact that he was not getting enough materials when he wanted to continue. Then he will buy some, then he will run short of money. Then when he gets the money, he continued because he was doing it by himself. Like he says, in Togo, it cost him $3,800,000, which is about $8,000 US. I don't know if that is good enough for you, Auntie Helen.
It is good enough. I resonate a lot with him using your brains because I make clothes. I didn't go for any training. So it's from the Almighty. You create a lot of things. Congratulations, son.
Thank you very much. Thanks for your question. Okay, remember too, Rauf now is about 4 a.m. for him, but he's dedicated this time to be with us all this while. So Bruce, can you unmute yourself, please, and talk to us, Bruce? Thank you.
Sure. Rauf, thank you very much for what you've done. You made me think of Ash Mufareh, our wonderful CEO. When you started talking about, you went into the store and you found some things and you started thinking of some other things that you could do. And that's the openness and brilliance that you have. But I did have one question, a couple of things that I did want to say. Watching you develop the car and build the car was amazing. What was also amazing was the production of the making of the car. And so in that way, you can also be working with O Academy when you want to build up more money for you with on passive. But I had a question, and you can tell them that, and I'll ask a question.
Okay, I will help.
Go, Naka.
Donc, Bruce est impressionné par tout ce que tu as fait jusqu'ici, tout ce qu'ils ont vu, ils sont vraiment impressionnés. Et tu le fais penser à H. Moufare, qui a eu la vision de faire quelque chose. Donc, on dirait que vous vous ressemblez dans vos idées, dans vos visions. Et il est en train de penser que ton projet, tu peux vraiment utiliser un de nos produits qui s'appelle Ocademy pour enseigner ou partager ta passion. Voilà. Maintenant, il va poser sa question.
So,
C'est passé.
You can respond if you want to, but what I want to say, so you are in great company because your mind is for a young boy, like a young Ash. But I did have a question for you, which was, what is your desire in building a car that was one car? What is your desire with Oblast? How do you want Oblast to work for you?
Okay. Donc, il aimerait que tu aies la construction de cette voiture. Il se demande, il voulait savoir quel est ton désir, à quoi tu as pensé pour construire cette voiture.
D'abord, en Amérique, il y a beaucoup de buggy de ce genre. Donc, ce sont des modèles qui me plaisent beaucoup, mais il n'y a pas ça en Afrique ici. C'est très difficile de trouver ça. Que ce soit neuf ou deuxième main, c'est très difficile de le trouver ici. Donc, je suis passionné par ce genre de modèle, surtout ceux qui gardent beaucoup le domaine sportif. Et c'est là, je me suis dit, je n'ai pas des moyens, je ne peux pas le payer neuf. Même en deuxième main, ça va être difficile de le payer. Donc, il faut faire recours à mon talent. Donc, c'est ça. Je sais que si je commence, je suis capable de le construire. Et je me suis lancé et je l'ai terminé.
Wow. Okay. He said he always see American cars and he's so impressed about all the cars he sees, especially racing cars, sport cars. He really liked them and he knew that he couldn't afford them. So he was always thinking about having it, having to use it. So he had to think about something like creating for himself because he knows he won't be able to buy it himself.
That's great for you. And also because you want to build cars, and many people in Togo need work. You can teach people in Togo and you can help the people in Togo have a new life too.
Donc, il dit, avec ce talent, tu peux au Togo enseigner les autres jeunes dans ton domaine et ça pourrait les aider, surtout les jeunes qui sont au chômage, tout ça. Donc, ça peut être, tu peux partager ta passion en enseignant, surtout au Togo.
Oui, c'est une très bonne idée puisque c'est pas que je me qualifie, mais je suis un bon enseignant. Je sais comment expliquer, c'est-à-dire comment faire comprendre les élèves, quoi. Donc, je sais très bien expliquer Et même les apprentis que j'ai, c'est-à-dire une fois je les explique, ils comprennent. C'est-à-dire même si j'ai eu des difficultés à apprendre quelque chose, pour l'expliquer, je l'explique d'une façon que c'est pas difficile à mettre en pratique. Donc, je suis un bon enseignant pour ça.
Okay. He's saying he knows himself that he's a good teacher. And when he has some people he's training, and anytime he try to train them, I think they understand everything. And he loved to teach. He loved to share his passion. And he has a good way to do it so that everybody, even those who are really dumb, can understand. So
That's great. You can even have the Togo race team Indy drivers.
can you say again?
He can even have Indy race car drivers if he wants to build those kinds of cars.
He can be a race car driver if he wants to do, if he chooses
The
to.
Team
Oh,
Togo.
okay.
Team Togo.
Okay.
Ok.
Team Togo driver.
Voilà, donc tu peux tu peux faire la compétition de ces voitures sportives. Donc,
Team Togo.
pour le
L'équipe de
Togo.
Togo.
Voilà.
Like Ferrari.
Ah, that's a good idea. Donc, tu peux aller participer aux compétitions internationales au nom du Togo pour les compétitions de voitures à l'extérieur, à l'international. Représenter le Togo.
Oui, ce serait une très grande fierté. Et cela ne va pas être un problème que le gouvernement m'accompagne aussi, puisque actuellement, je suis le premier à concevoir une voiture. Si vous allez sur YouTube ou bien sur Google, si vous écrivez Made in Togo ou bien la première voiture conçue au Togo, c'est moi qui va apparaître. Donc, si c'est pour représenter quelque chose comme ça, ce n'est pas difficile pour que le gouvernement m'accompagne quand même.
He will be really proud to do that. And he knows that the country will be behind him, and they're already behind him. And he has some, if you go to YouTube, you type Togo invention, you will just see his name. So that is something he will consider doing.
Okay, thank you very much, Bruce. Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Naka and Rahul, for the answer. So our last speaker will be Dela. Then I don't have the powers to call on our leaders to come here. I'll hand it over to Chris Johnson to bring our leaders to hear from them. I'm here. I'll bring Chris Johnson to bring our leaders to talk to us. Thank you. Dela, can you unmute yourself, please?
Hello, good evening, my All Blessed family. Can you hear me?
Yes.
What an incredible young man. You move our hearts. I heard that he is interested of the American cars, right? About the Mercedes-Benz or all this. Okay, my question is, are you aware that Elon Musk is hiring globally? Are you aware of that, young man?
What again, Dela? I didn't get the question.
Yeah, I get that.
Okay.
Il voulait juste savoir, comme tu es intéressé aux voitures américaines, est-ce que tu sais que, je ne sais pas si tu connais Elon Musk, c'est sûr que tu le connais. Elon Musk, tu as une idée de Elon Musk? Non?
Je ne
Le
suis
constructeur de voitures, l'énergie renouvelable. Donc, elle dit que, est-ce que tu es au courant qu'il est en train d'embaucher sur le plan mondial?
Non, je ne suis pas informé quand même.
He said he's not aware.
Okay, Elon Musk needs you because the Tesla and SpaceX has been hiring you forever, and you can increase your talents because you already have that naturally. And he needs the brightest minds like your mind, and across the globe, with no degree required. And this training may help you, and you can and you love to teach, so you can come to America. If you email him, then you'll have a good future, because he's also a humanitarian, and he only likes two things, which comes down to one thing: the two hands test. And your two hands is so very intelligent from the mind. So you need to connect to Elon Musk, so he will give you a chance to, he needs your bright ideas. You Google it, because even here in Texas, he transferred here in San Antonio, and he's hiring a lot of undergraduates, and you will improve that, your talents. And maybe he can put a factory in your country. We don't know.
Okay.
Thanks for your advice. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Now I'm going to hand it over to my big brother, Chris Johnson. Let him call the leaders. Let's hear from the leaders. I don't have that capacity, so I'm down here. Thank you, Chris.
What do you mean? You're all leaders. Marty,
you are a bigger leader than me, so I give it back to you, bro.
Marty's probably sleeping because I know he's sick. I know.
Okay, how about Robin? We have Robin.
Let me see if Robin's even on here. If she's on here, she definitely can speak. Let me see. I don't see Robin either.
Okay. So how do you want us to take it down?
Well, I'd like to say something.
Okay, go.
First of all, I want to thank my beautiful sisters Nadu and I always say it, Naka, for the excellent translations.
Thank you.
I know that's not easy to do. I'd also thank my handsome brother Michael for introducing to this young man, who I'm gonna give him a new nickname. We're gonna call him Little Ford. That's what we're gonna call him, because I know he's gonna turn. And you know what? Don't worry about the Mustang, dude. You're gonna definitely have some better designs, I think, because that Mustang ain't never changing. I want to see some African power motor. We have Detroit muscle. How about the African muscle car? All right, that's what I would like to see. I'd like to thank Lynn Nakamoto for running the panel, Julie Wen for running the panel, Marty DeGarmo for actually leaving so he don't tease me anymore. Hope he's feeling bad. But Mr. Little Ford, I think you're amazing. For me to see someone your age have that much talent, man, I can't wait to see you 50 years from now, what you're really going to do. Our CEO says we're starting at the top. I believe you started at the top too, with your brains that God gave you, and you put them to work. You see, God gives us all kind of talents, but it's really up to us to find those talents. And man, did you find your talent. But I think cars, like I said, is just a start for you. I could see you designing many, many things. So, but I do want to thank everyone on this panel. Richard, I see your hand up. Give me 1 minute. I think this was a definitely different kind of Obless. It just goes to show you that there's many things that we can do through Obless, where this young man that we watched all night, watches making of a car, his abilities, what really can happen, and this kid can do with the proper funding, the proper material, the proper tools, the proper garage. And it's minimal, because I really think he can cut a tree down and build a car out of it. Don't ask me how he do it, but I think that's how smart he is. So I'm always really excited to see some. Like I said, when we're talking about Oblast, yeah, we're talking about poverty, but you gotta understand, this is the kind of kid that's gonna get his country, his next generation out of poverty. All right, so we can definitely use many kind of tools to help fix poverty, and this gentleman right here is a perfect example of what the future is going to look like. My God, it's so nice to see a young kid who's embraced in something like that, my trade for years, and to see him just do it without, I mean, the kid was welding, he was soldering, he was DAing, he was measured, he was right. I'd like to know his math skills, Michael. I got to believe he's got a really good brain for measuring and math, and that's probably a whole nother show. But you tell that young man that's all he needs is thank you for coming here. Thank you for showing us what his skills are. And thank you for changing the world, because I believe he's going to be part of changing a lot of people's lives. And Academy, like Bruce was saying, you don't need to be in Ford and the big car companies. You got Academy, man. You can have your own garage and you can teach kids all over the world and old guys like me how to build a car from scratch, how to build a car from nothing. My God, you're probably going to build a spaceship as far as I'm concerned. So you just keep going. But Richard Lemuth, go ahead. The guy who always raises his hand at the last minute. Richard, go ahead, brother.
Love all you beautiful men and women of the world from the bottom of my heart. Raouf, félicitations. Quoi Chris vient juste de te dire, c'est que ton cerveau, là, c'est un cadeau du bon Dieu. Et puis, pas aller loin. Et puis, avec On Passive et Oblast, tu vas encore aller plus en plus avancer dans tes affaires. Et puis, il y en a un qui disait tout à l'heure, tu devrais te faire un petit short de course puis aller courser contre les Américains. Mais félicitations. Puis, tu m'as vraiment fait chaud au cœur. Vraiment, je suis fier de toi, puis on est tous fiers de toi.
Merci, merci.
Merci pour avoir venu ici nous éduquer. C'est bien apprécié. Et donne ton cadeau aux autres. Les jeunes là, qui ont besoin, là, donne-leur ton cadeau au travers de On Passive et Academy, puis Oblast. Tu vas aller loin.
D'accord, merci beaucoup.
Bonne caresse, puis gros hug. I told them what you said, Chris.
Kind of figured that, Richard. Thank you very much. I always forget you can speak French. Then there's actually quite a few people that speak French on here, and I'm really appreciative because I don't speak a lick of French. Hey, man, I can barely speak English lately, but I'm appreciative of all of you. And as you look again, once again on this screen, you have all kind of different faces. We got round faces, square faces, long faces, sexy faces, as I always say. We have different colors. It's the greatest thing that I could ever really wish for. Working in the auto industry for 32 years was quite a few challenges with different cultures, different races. And it was always like kind of like a war zone where you had certain people over here, and people just didn't know how to come together. Okay. And that's what I love about Impassive. And yeah, we got our issues in this family of people not real happy with this or that, but here's my thing. All right. Sooner or later, everyone is going to come together completely, wholeheartedly, because we're all in this for the same reason. All right. To earn a residual income for not doing nothing, to help humanity out for doing everything. And that young kid, Mr. Raouf Malazou, if I ever get that correct, I'm terrible with it. All right. That's what we got to think about. Most of us are old. All right. We've lived our lives. We've worked our lives. But that kid, he's going to change for the better for all these kids, man. And I've said it for a year and a half now. If I could change one younger kid's life where they don't have to work in a factory, put roofs on, lay cement, clean tiles, sit behind a desk all day and rot for 32 years, because that's exactly what we're doing. We rotted for 30 plus years, probably doing something that none of us really like to do, but we knew we had to do it. Now, can you imagine the life this kid's going to have? All right. I really think he's going to do great things, but I also know that us old fogies here, we'll call us, I think we're going to do some pretty great things too. But man, if you can't do it for yourself, do it for your family. If you can't do it for your family, do it for another family, but just do it. It doesn't matter how you do it, but just do it. What has Ash said in Boston? He could have said it any better. Can you just treat like one person nice a day? Can we kind of just throw all the anger and hate that we've built up for years, probably because of work? And I'll give you an example. And everyone knows I'm telling the truth, so don't think that you're lying to me or anyone else. At work, there's people you just don't like, but you know you got to work with them, right? At work, there's always that one boss that you really don't like. Am I lying? If you're lucky enough to find a job where everyone gets along, everyone's happy, and the boss gives you lollipops and chocolate every day to make you smile, all work does is paralyze us. You work for God knows how many years. You finally retire, you're looking at them. I was happy, right? But I realized the 32 years of labor I did kind of tore my body up. I just didn't know it till everything kind of slowed down. I mean, when you get out of bed and you hear those cracklings or you know, everything's kind of popping, don't you wish that you'd ever had to really work, but you had something like this 60, 50, 70, 80 years ago, and someone actually worked for you, and you actually went out and were happy, and you got to go do things that you dreamed about? That's a pretty good life. So if anything, changing the world just for that part, we already know we're going to help a lot of people out, but the generations to come, they don't have to do all that stuff. And don't worry, there's always going to be people that want a roof or work in a factory. There's always going to be people like that. And we'll call those people the negative people because they just didn't see it. All right, but that's okay. They'll see it. But I want to personally thank all of you again, Michael. Thank you for bringing this young man on here. Mr. Roof, I think you're amazing. I want to, let's see, how do you say thank you in French? Oui, oui? Is it oui, oui? Or merci? I don't know. If it's one of those words,
yeah.
Merci.
Merci beaucoup.
That's it. Merci beaucoup. I appreciate you. Michael, if you can, I would love to watch this kid, everything he does. Tell him to make videos. I know he has a YouTube. I definitely want to follow this cat because I think he's going to do great things, man. And if I could share his stuff to the young kids in this neighborhood, I'm like, look at this kid. You're playing video games. He's building cars. Let's change that. My goodness. All right, guys, I appreciate you. It's right 11:01. Thank you, everyone, again. Still, I got a couple new ones from some of the people and the attendees and on this panel. I'm going to review them and look at them. I'm not being critical. When I do have a lot. I had some people say you're not. I do look at all of them. You have no idea how many have come at me, and I really look at them seriously. Michael, I promise, I'm really happy we did this, Mike, because it made me think a lot differently. It really did, which I love. So, but as my friend Admira Walker always says, bless up. And by the way, I miss Admira Walker. She actually let me borrow this spot to do Oh Bless. I know she's still walking. What I say, she's doing a walkabout with God and angels and preaching the good word, and say some prayers for that beautiful lady. And I know she'll be back sooner or later, but she's doing some real important work for all of us. We just don't know yet that either. So, but God bless every one of you. Keep smiling. Keep doing what you're doing. as of 1 hour from now, from my time, 13 more days. 13 more days. So get out there and share this for those people that really need it. For those young
Yes.
men that are redesigning those cars. So that's all I can say. 360 tomorrow. You want to know something? I don't have a clue what I'm going to say tomorrow. So actually, when this closes, I got to get my brain thinking and find something to talk about. I just might talk about that young man because you tell him, Mike, that he just gave me a lot of inspiration for a lot of things. And maybe that's what I'll do. I'm going to talk about this young man. You guys, God bless you. I'll see you. I'm going to open up your mutes.
Thank you, Chris.
Say hello.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you.
Merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.